Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and today's a story time. I do sure love giving my story times because they're always the best and there's a lot of laughs. Now, unlike most of my others, this one's quite a recent one, so still fresh in the memory. I thought, fuck it, I'll tell it now. And it's a bit of a shameful one. You've obviously seen the title, so you know pretty much what it's about, but I'll tell it from the beginning anyway. So, I've been single for a while. It's just is what it is. It's not like I've not had chances or anything. I've had conversations and I've met up with people and blah blah blah. I've been on a few dates. Just nothing's really felt right. Sometimes they're not interested in me, sometimes I'm not interested in them. And there might be a few of you thinking, yeah, good one. Yeah, nice. But yeah, I've not really felt anything. And I'm getting to that age now where like hookups just aren't really, they were never really like something I was interested in anyway. Even when I was growing up, like, well, fucking hell, that sounds bad. But like in my teenage years, and even now when I'm in my 20s, like, they still don't interest me. I'm looking for a relationship, and I'm looking for something that is going to last. And sometimes you don't, you find people that don't like that or that aren't into that, and they just want to, they just want something that's like casual and not really serious, and that's fine. I don't mind casual for a bit, but if it's going to be casual for a while, that's probably not worth getting into. And then you might, you meet some women, you think, oh, something might work, and then they just don't like you, and that's how the universe has been with me. So it's kind of saying, well, you're not liking what I'm giving you, so you can fuck off, which is completely fine. So I've just been single for a while. Is what it is. I'm not really sad about it. Like, is what it is. I still have, still hang out with my mates and that. No big deal. But yeah. However, a few weeks ago, I was just chilling on my sofa, literally bored as fuck, didn't have anything to do. It was one of them moments where I actually just had nothing to do. I've got ADHD, so I do like to do stuff. I do like to find activities to do. I just like to keep myself occupied. But this was one of the moments where I was actually just sat on my sofa. I was sat in the living room on my phone, just texting people and just kind of doom scrolling. I don't do it as much anymore, thank God, but I do catch myself doing it sometimes. And it was just one of them days. But then I started texting a girl on Snapchat, and again, not really an ideal place to meet someone I know, but I added her on Quick Add, and we got talking about games that we liked, and she was trying to get me like invited to all these game competitions, and I was like, cool, I always said no to them because I do like gaming, but I don't think I'm good enough to be in a competition, so I never actually joined them. But she was cool. We had interests in the same games, and she was alright. I don't really think anything of it until like a few weeks later, and we was messaging and we was talking about meeting up, and I was like, oh fuck it, I'll just ask the question. It's not really like a crush situation. I don't really have any feelings for it. It was just like maybe we can meet up for a drink and see what happens. So I said, are you interested in going on a date? And she goes, yes. And I go, nice. And we're talking about like when it was going to happen and blah blah blah, and was talking about how cool it was going to, or not how cool it was going to be. Now I'm just sounding sad. We was talking about like where it was going to be, what time, what date, whatever, what was going to do, and was looking forward to it. And I switched my phone off, not really thinking of anything of it. And then later on, she goes, "You're okay with me, right?" Or something like that. And I'm like, what do you mean? What does that mean? You haven't told me anything for me not to be okay with. And she goes, like what I am or whatever. I'm like, do I not? And she was like, I have a cock. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. She said that. That is the only, like, thing verbatim which I can repeat. That is definitely what she said. She said, I have a penis. Or a cock. No, she actually said, I have a cock. So, I'm in disbelief, right? I'm like, really? And so, I say, are you... So, I'm assuming you're trans. And she goes, yeah. I go, okay. I was like, why didn't you tell me before? Why are you only telling me now? It's like, I was thankful that she eventually did tell me, because, I don't know. I just not into trans women. I don't know if that is that like a bad thing to say. Like, it's just not. Is what it, even when they have gone through the operation, it's just not really my cup of tea. I don't think that is a bad thing to say, if it's just a preference. But I just like fully biological women, you know, which is fair enough. So I was thankful she told me. But I was thinking she was joking, right? So I said, originally, I think I said, oh really? And then she goes, yeah, lol. And then I go, haha, because when she said lol, I thought she was joking. So I was just expecting like a, you know, I don't really, you know, you've passed the test. I was expecting one of them. But I never got it. So I was like, oh my god, you really are, like you was a man, wasn't you? She was like, yeah. And then I started to go through pictures of her. And I was like, oh my god. You know when you find something out about someone? And then you like go through pictures, or you hear things, or whatever or you hear them, or you see them, and you start to really notice it more. It was one of them. I was like, oh my god, this was a man. And it was weird because like there was like, fucking hell, this just sounds really okay. Like there was boobs, and there was like an Adam's apple. There wasn't an Adam's apple. And like the face was like, there was freckly, like it looked like a female. So I was really confused. I was like, oh my god. And then it just got me wondering. I was like, why would you go through the whole process of getting everything done but your cock removed, or not having that removed? I was really weird. I thought it was really weird. But I didn't ask her about it, because I thought that's probably a bit, you know, too sensitive. But yeah, I thought that was really odd. And why would you go through the trouble of everything but not get your cock removed? Maybe they wanted to keep it for a keepsake? I don't know. But yeah, she was just like, are we okay to be friends? I was like, sure. And then I didn't really talk to her after that, because I just thought the whole situation was really weird. Initially I thought maybe she was just lying because she didn't want to go on a date with me, but that was really weird. I was like, she seemed really keen at first, and so like for her to have changed her mind would have been like, especially that abruptly, would have been really weird. So I kind of took that off my list once I really thought about it. I was like, you know, if she wasn't interested, she probably would have took a different course. So I thought that's probably not the reason. But yeah, I just remember thinking, I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, it's not like I stopped speaking to her because I'm like, transphobic or whatever you would want to call me. But it's not like I stopped speaking to her because of that. It's just the whole situation was really so awkward, because it was just the way like they said it. Like they didn't go, oh, I'm trans, you know, if that's okay with you or whatever. They just said, I have a cock. It was like a really weird way to put it. So I thought, oh, okay. So yeah, but definitely a weird situation. Especially because I'd been talking to her for a few weeks before, and they just seemed female. But obviously, you never know. So at least she told me. That's it.